So before we start, I'd like to invite Shweta on stage, our founder of Earth Warriors Global, to present the welcome address.
Thank you, Teresa, and thank you so much, sir and ma'am, for coming and joining us today, and all of you for coming and gracing us with your presence at Earth Warriors' first annual flagship conference. We hope this is going to be the first of many. This is something that we hope to do every year because this is obviously such an important topic that we're all passionate about and working on, and really there needs to be a lot more dialogue on this topic. So you're not going to hear much from me because we have a fantastic, set of speakers and panelists here today. But I'll give you a short introduction on why we're doing a discussion on this topic, who we are as Earth Warriors, and what is the work that we do. Brilliant. So, as the name of the conference aptly suggests, from heat waves to hope, education in the age of climate change. I think we finally reached a point where no one can disagree that climate change is real, climate change is happening. Until about 5 years ago, I think we'd still have conversations that is climate change actually happening or is just the weather? But the last 5 years have really seen a shift in dialogue, primarily because of the lived experiences of people and children around us. And so that's why we're here to talk about this topic. When we think about our children and the next generation, it's stark. Research has shown that children will face more extreme weather events than all previous generations. 7 times as many heat waves, 2 times as many wildfires, and 3 times as many droughts, crop failures, and floods. Research also shows that 77% of children are now really concerned about climate change, and it's increasing mental health issues across different age groups of children as well. In fact, why are we talking about climate change and education? So, climate change is disrupting global learning. In 2024, 242 million children across 85 countries had their schooling disrupted because of climate change. South Asia, where India is located, was the most affected region by climate change, with 128 million students affected in terms of their school attendance and learning. And last, heat waves are the most significant climate hazard worldwide to disrupt schooling. And this we all know, especially in India, heat waves are a huge challenge for us. And we've just been facing that summer after summer. South Asia, India is ground zero for climate change. In 2024, India experienced extreme weather 322 days of the year, which is almost 80% of the year. Indians themselves have reported experiencing heat waves, storms, floods, cyclones, and the average temperature in India is projected to rise by 3.5 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. This is far higher than the global average. So we have to be ready as a country with systems to be able to deal with this and the impact this is going to have on our population. Climate change is no longer just an environmental issue. It is very much a climate justice issue. It is very much a child's rights issue. Children today are facing the brunt of climate change, a problem that they have had no role in creating. So really this becomes a climate justice and a climate rights, child rights issue. But there is hope, which is what I always like to say. Research from the Brookings Institute has shown that if just 16% of children receive climate education, it has the same impact as removing 500 million cars from the road. Just to give you a sense, that's the equivalent of all the cars in Europe and one third of all the cars in the world. So the power of climate education as a tool for climate action is huge. 26% of our population is under 14. There are 440 million children in India under the age of 18. So when you think of the impact that climate education can have in terms of reduced carbon emissions, future leaders in India, and creating green skills and green jobs, the potential is huge. So who are we as Earth Warriors? So we are a social enterprise that has been around for the last 5 years. We complete 5 years this year, working at the intersection of climate change, education, and sustainability. We do three main things. So we provide climate education resources. So we work with various organizations, children of various age group, but really our main age group of focus so far has been the youngest age group, 3 to 11. And that we believe the early years and the primary years are the right age to really get started to create lifelong behavior change. We do climate educator training because really if our educators are not confident about what they need to teach, how will they equip the next generation with the skills that they need? Research by UNESCO has shown that 90% of teachers don't feel confident teaching their students about climate change. If they weren't taught about it in school themselves, how are we expecting them to teach the next generation? And last but not the least, we do a lot of research and consulting with organizations around the world who want to create a strategy on how do we deal with climate change and its impact on children. Its impact on their education, its impact on their health, their well-being. How do we take care of this? We have been, we've been very lucky to have been recognized by UNESCO as a UNESCO Green Citizen for our innovative approach. We've been funded by National Geographic and Harvard Mitchell Institute, and we've been part of prestigious accelerators at the University of Cambridge and Harvard Business School, which has really helped us to be here in our journey today. And of course, none of this would be possible without the amazing support of my family and all of you here that have really helped us come forward in this journey. Because we all know that this is a topic that gets a lot of lip service, but it does not get the attention that it needs. So to persevere for 5 years to get to the point that we are today, it wouldn't have been possible without all the support that we've had. And very quickly, this is the scale of impact. We're working around the world. A lot of this is on our website. And just to quickly highlight, because we have Naz ma'am here as well. So one of our first projects in Delhi was with the National Museum of National History. We brought climate education workshops and teacher training to 25 MCD Delhi schools. And it was a brilliant project which kickstarted our journey of bringing climate education to the government school system in India. We followed that now with a partnership, thanks to Ms. Reddy, with the Delhi Directorate of Education, and we're actually implementing our curriculum and teacher training across 10 SKV schools in Northeast Delhi. And we really hope that the learnings from these programs will allow us to scale up climate educations in classrooms across the country. Some of our work in Africa and some of our other partners in India is here as well. But there's nothing better than seeing kids in action to really see the impact of your work. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.